So folks, we're just about ready to install the waste in this bath, which will be installed horizontally. And as I've said many times on this channel, think maintenance. And I've gone for this McAlpine, it's a HC2650UK pop-up bath trap with overflow and all that sort of thing. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview of how it all works, since if you're anything like me and can't be bothered reading instructions most of the time, then you're probably just kind of fumbling your way through it trying to work out what's going on, or perhaps you've lost the instructions. So I'll show you how it all works and it'll hopefully make a bit more sense. So this is everything that comes in the pack. And if you're anything like me, you're probably very impatient and trying to just get the job done. But there's a couple of things that are worth pointing out here. So, obviously, this is the overflow that goes into the bath, and it's got this protective little cover thing, which they call a finger guard, because it says if you don't fit it, there's a risk that you get your fingers trapped in there, which I find highly dubious, but okay. So I'll get that out the road for the minute because that's basically decorative. And then on the bath waste side, this is the pop-up waste bit, and that is the bit that goes in the top of the pop-up waste. Again, that's decorative, so I'll show you that in a minute. So that bit is obviously your bath waste trap with a 40mm outlet on it, and this bit is obviously the overflow. So I'll show you the overflow first. So it comes with this nice little spannery thing. So this comes with this black little washer that goes on the back, and you'll know that you've got the right washer because it fits like a glove. It fits like absolutely perfectly, to the point that I can't get it back off. Damn it. There you go. So you've basically got that bit, and then that washer goes neatly over the top like that. It'll only fit one way neatly, you see? And then, obviously, this bit goes at the back of your bath. So imagine there's a bath in the road, and then this bit goes at the front of your bath, like that. So all you need to do is put that on, and then you get this doobie here, screw that through, and then you tighten it up to your bath with this funky little spanner thing that it comes with. So you tighten it up, tighten it up, tighten it up. And then once that's tight on your bath, you've got these little bolts to go on the back. Now, it comes with 2 bolts, and it tells you to fit 2 bolts. And I don't see how you can possibly fit more than one of those on, because, I mean, that's pretty much, I don't know, maybe if you really tightened that up, you might get a little bit more room to get another bolt on. Anyway, so it comes with 2 of them, and it suggests putting, I guess, so that they lock together or whatever, but yeah, I'll probably only be putting 1 on. Anyway, so once that's all tightened up, then you basically just put your decorative cover on, and that literally just screws on. Obviously, you get rid of the plastic bit. And then it'll look like that. Okay, so that's the overflow bit. That just friction fits into the flexi hose, but it friction fits and screws in, so there's a kind of screw thread at the end of that, so you'll be screwing the pipe into it so that it can't fall out. And do that, because I have seen on many occasions overflow pipes falling out. Not a lot of fun, especially if you've got a bath where like it's impossible to get to the back of it once you've fitted. Anyway, that's the overflow in a nutshell. Let me get that out the road. Then the waste side, and I'll put the protective cover back on that just to keep it nice. I'm going to get the, I want to just show you this bit so I can get it out the road. So the business end of the overflow that connects into the waste, you've got another rubber washer. So obviously you've got this cap, that goes on there. Rubber washer with the kind of chamfered end facing towards the waste like that, so it's facing, the chamfered edge is like that, so that it'll sit in there, and then you just tighten that up. Now again, the instructions talk about this fluted thing, this bit, as if it comes out. Maybe it does come out, but it arrived with it in on mine, and I'm not even attempting to take that out. But the instructions talk about inserting that, but it's already in. So yeah, you just tighten that up, and that's your overflow connected. So that's simple enough. Again, we'll get that out the road. Then the pop-up waste. So basically the way this works, once it's in the bath and that's tightened, then all you need to do is boop, boop, and that lets you let the water out the bath, which is lovely. So a couple of things worth showing you on this. So basically you've got this big rubber washer that sits on the bottom of the bath. So obviously it's going to be going like that, with your overflow going in there, your waste coming out there, and then this goes into the top like that. So how do you clean the trap out, I hear you ask? Well, this, oh, and it comes with this funky little thing for tightening it, but well, how does that possibly work? Well, it's because this bit comes out. So look, so you just pull that out, and then this little funky spanner thing that it comes with perfectly fits into there, and then you use that to tighten it. Make sure you've got the rubber washer on either side. So let me just show you. So you've got the rubber washer there. I think it goes with the liney side pointing up. I think so, smooth side to the bottom. I'm not 100% on that, but that just seems logical to me. And then you've got a rubber washer on the bottom of that. So you shouldn't need any silicone or anything. I generally don't use silicone or any kind of sealant unless it starts leaking, because if you put sealant on, you're only going to have to scrape it all off if you ever have to change it. And if it works without adding sealant, then don't do it. And these are pretty kind of higher end fixings here, so generally they're fine. They don't need extra sealant and things. So anyway, so you tighten that up using this funky spanner thing. So you would tighten that into your bath like that, get it all nice and tight, and then pop this in. This basically is what makes the whole trap work. And by the way, this bit comes off, but you don't need to take that off. You just kind of pop it on there like that, and pop that in, and then it's just a kind of firm press to get that to seat in, like really firm press like that, and that's it. And then you just take your pop-up waste, and I don't know if it's adjustable. I don't think it's adjustable. I think it's just set at a predetermined height. So you would just screw that in like that. Obviously you take the protective cover off, which I don't want to damage it, so I'm not going to. And then simple as that. Now, this has one other trick up its sleeve, which I didn't actually realise until I read the instructions, and it was like, oh, that makes life a lot easier. Yeah, so basically, you're probably looking at it thinking, well, how's that going to work? With the overflow coming out that side, and the waste coming out that side, that's going to make life a bit awkward, isn't it? Well, the whole thing can rotate, but it's really stiff, so it might not be obvious that it can rotate. In fact, I can't even do it at this angle. Let me try and... So you see, it's like that by default, but look. So you can rotate it to whatever angle you want. So that's probably the angle I'm going to have it at, with the overflow coming in the back, straight down from the back of the bath, and the waste coming out kind of the front at 90 degrees. That should work pretty well, I think. So yeah, really nice fixing once you actually know how to use it. So hopefully that's been useful for you. As I say, it's a McAlpine, whatever. I'll put the model number on the screen. Folks, as per usual, if you found this useful, do hit subscribe. Look after one another, be nice to each other. We shall see you next time. Tatty bye.